Hello guys, Sinister Scrafty here, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list of the Gen 5 gym leaders. I think Nuzlocking, or even playing Gen 5 in general, is very enjoyable and fun. So today, we're going to talk about which ones are the most threatening and which ones are bad, because there are at least one of them. And I guess to prove that I'm qualified, I've been playing Pokemon for about 23 years. So I'm very experienced and I'm very familiar. So let's get right into it. S tier signifies that the gym leader is very, very strong, and D tier means they're very bad. Alright, so starting out, we have Chili, Silent, and Cress. I just have Silent to represent the three of them. Now, the game literally hands you the elemental type that is good against their ace. So that really takes a lot of the challenge out of it. Lillipup's workups can be scary, but it tends to waste turns with Odor Sleuth and Helping Hand, so it kind of seems intimidating, but not really. It's pretty much the bottom of C tier. It's almost D tier, if I'm being honest. The only reason why it's not is because both of their Pokemon have workup, and that can be potentially scary if you're giving them free turns for whatever reason. Alright, second, we have Lenora. Lenora is pretty infamous for being a run killer. You can get a fighting type in Pinwheel Forest, like Sock, Throw, Girder. No, not Girder, Timber. So yeah, if you manage to get one of those, or if you pick Tepig at the beginning of the game, that will help you out immensely. Otherwise, if you didn't choose Tepig, or if you have no fighting type, wow. Lenora is incredibly difficult to deal with. So I'm actually going to give her S tier. If you did get a Roggenrola, like basically, Lenora will end your run if you don't have the right kinds of encounters. If you have Roggenrola, it still gets washed by Watchog because he'll just put you to sleep, start lowering your defense, and then start hitting you with Crunch, which is actually an insanely good move for this point in the game. So, yeah, Hertier's takedowns are extremely powerful. They will hurt unless you resist them, which, by the way, is pretty much only Roggenrola. So, yeah, good luck dealing with Lenora. Third up, we have Berg. His ace is pretty much what's the most scary about him. Leavanny's pretty good, hits hard, has really good balanced stats for this point in the game, and in general, if I'm being honest. Having Protect kind of hurts it because it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have lefties. It doesn't really do anything for it with this particular set. So the Whirlipede and the Dwebble relying on Struggle Bug for Bug Stab is kind of what is hurting Berg. But nevertheless, he has really good type diversity considering. So yeah, and Razor Leaf has a high crit chance, so you can lose your Pokemon. I'm going to give him bottom of A or top of B. So we'll put him in A for right now. Alright, let's see. Elisa here. Yeah, Elisa's also really good. She has super effective coverage on all of your starters. Aerial Ace hits... why am I blanking on his name? But yeah, Tepig's Evolution hits him for super effective damage, as well as Servine. Pignite, that's what I was looking for. Dewott gets hit super effectively by Volt Switch, so yeah, your starter is not really that great in this fight. Even Servine is not really good into Substracta because it has Flame Charge coverage. So yeah, and the switching around makes her pretty hard to deal with because she's the only gym leader that does that, thanks to Volt Switch. So I'm gonna give her top of A. Man, she could have a very strong argument for S tier. The reason why I feel it is a little bit easier than Lenora is because you have more options to deal with Elisa. You can have a Croc Rock by this point. Okay, never mind. You cannot get a Croc Rock because Santa evolves at level 29. So, yeah. But at least you have a ground type to deal with her to pivot into her moves. And bait out her weaker moves so you can switch between your Pokemon. The Substracta having Lightning Rod, she could potentially bait you into using a electric type move, and then she's going to switch to Substracta, which will give it a Lightning Rod boost, which makes its Volt Switch even stronger. So you need to be careful and pretty much know what you're doing. But if you know what you're doing, it's significantly easier than Lenora. Lenora there's less counterplay to Lenora. Next up we have Clay. Clay, he has an Excadrill that automatically makes him pretty threatening because Excadrill is a fantastic Pokemon. The Croc Rock is alright, it has Intimidate. Crunch is pretty strong. Torment is pretty bad, it's situational at best. But Bulldoze lowering your speed, that can be annoying. And if you're unlucky with Swagger, you might lose a Pokemon. So, Palpitoad is Water Ground. That's an infamously good defensive typing. It's only weak to Grass. 4 times weak to Grass, but weak to Grass nonetheless. And Excadrill has a handy Steel typing, which lets it only take normal damage from Grass moves. So, basically, you're not going to be able to use Servine to sweep this guy because Excadrill can hit you very hard. And it also has Hone Claws, which makes Rock Slide perfect accuracy, which is pretty scary. Because if he's faster, you have to deal with flinches, and the attack raise he's getting from an already phenomenal attack stat. Base 135 attack. That is Dragonite's attack stat, bro. That's literally insane for this point in the game. So yeah, you have to be very, very careful about his Excadrill. Yeah, second thought, I'm putting Berg in B, and I'm going to put Clay at the bottom of A. Pretty much almost exclusively for his Excadrill. That's how dangerous it is. Alright, Bryson. Bryson, I'm not going to lie, he's pretty bad, guys. Frost Breath is not a very good move in general. It's 80 base power after a crit and has a 10% chance of missing, which is pretty sizable for it not being that good of a move. It's literally bad Ice Beam. He has a Vanillish. They probably should have given him a Vanillux. The Ice typing is a terrible typing. That's probably why he's so bad. And at this point, you have access to all sorts of rock, fighting, fire types. So, and if you pick Tepig, he literally just sweeps him. And Boar just destroys him. Drayden and Iris. I just have... Oh, did I skip Skyla? That's crazy. I apologize, Skyla. I skipped over her. Skyla, not very impressive. You could probably tell from the fact that I skipped over her. But, yeah. Nothing to say here, really. This moveset is really bad, but that's what Unfezant is pretty much known for. Razor Wind is a pretty bad move. Air Slash is normally a good move, but it's not that good because Unfezant's attack is higher than its special attack. This Swoobat is still using Heart Stamp coming off a base 57 attack, so I don't really understand the thought process behind that when literally the gym leader right before has a base 135 attacking Pokemon with a stab that lowers your speed. Like, I feel like they just kind of downgraded from Clay to Skyla. I don't know what they were thinking. If you have a good electric type, it's going to destroy her. That's just the facts. Substrika, you can't get a Galvantula just yet, which is pretty unfortunate, and really hurts Galvantula in my opinion, because this is its time to shine. Not like it's a very hard gym to begin with, but yeah, Substrika pretty much eats up Skyla for free. Yeah, relying on Bubble Beam, like, I just don't get it. Skyla's underwhelming to say the least. And because of that, I'll give her, let's see here, I'd say definitely worse than Berg. Yeah, I'm going to put her right there, right above Silent. Pretty similar difficulty, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so Drayden. Drayden's alright. Revenge is scary on the Druddigon. If you're not aware that it has Revenge. The Dragon Dancing, Haxorus, and Fracture is also scary. But what really ruins Drayden is this Dragon Tail thing. You're kind of negating the speed boost you're giving yourself. So it kind of makes him from being very scary to not really that scary at all. So if you're getting unlucky and he's spamming like Slash, then yeah, he's pretty terrifying. Otherwise, like this Fracture, if it Dragon Dances, the only thing it can hit you with while being faster than you is Assurance. If it uses Dragon Tail, you get to click whatever you want before he moves. So that really removes the danger of it all. And at this point in the game, you have a ton of options to deal with this gym leader. You have ice types, you have steel types, you have... What else is a good answer into this? Like, Cofagrigus is really good in this fight. Could spam Will-O-Wisp. And doesn't really care about eating Dragon Tails. You got to be careful with Assurance though. But usually it clicks Dragon Dance first, so you can if you as long as you're hitting your burns, like it's pretty solid. So can be scary, but Dragon Tail kind of ruins it. I'll put him below Berg. You just have so many more options at this point in the game to deal with what he's throwing at you. So I'd say if he had like honestly, if this was Dragon Claw instead of Dragon Tail, for the two of these guys, it would instantly tremendously jump up in difficulty, and I would probably put him somewhere around like here, if that were the case. But because of that, he's going to stay right there. And so, folks, that completes the tier list. I love Gen 5, and I hope you do too. So, yeah, these are the gym leaders. Minora's crazy, Bryson's bad. Like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.